Welcome back all, I'm your host Jameson, and this is Quest 64. The last episode in the real series is we got to the Connor Forest here, Fortress I believe is what they call it, and made it to a little safe house here. We spent an episode leveling up. We got Wind Cutter level 3, Fireball 2, we have our healing spell, we have all that. So, shouldn't have moved so much. And we've got our HP and our MP boosted up some. So now, we are ready to take on the very first boss, Solvering. So, let's head down the path here. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. I almost had it goofed up for a second there. So the enemies in here have become quite a bit easier now that we've gotten some more agility, defense, spirits, MP, HP, all that. So we should be able to take care of this area without too much trouble at this point. Definitely didn't get myself close enough to that last guy, but that's alright. Bop him with the staff real quick. And this encounter rate, as always, is just a little bit ridiculous. Oh. Although it doesn't do much damage, we will use Wind Cutter level 3 quite a bit, simply because we do want to get our MP up still. I think that puts him close enough. There we go. Still gonna... there we go. I was gonna say, he's still gonna pummel me quite a bit. These kobolds are fairly brutal. And it takes quite a long time for us to recover all of our HP after a fight. I think I took off in the right direction to begin with. Honestly, it's been a long time since I played through the entire game, start to finish. So. Oh, we got our MP up another point. It's always nice to see. It's kind of a gimme of a fight, so that's kind of nice. These giant plant creatures can't move much and must. I think their only damaging attack is really close range, so. Can avoid that pretty easily by just staying out of their range. There we go. We got ourselves mostly healed up. Once we make it to Solvering's lair, we won't have a problem finishing up our healing because there's a nice little tunnel where enemies can't hit us. Are they just gonna let us? There's a miss. I was gonna say, is it gonna let us just sit here and cast Water Pillar 2 over and over? Ooh, I had all three targeted. Didn't quite get them. Let's use the staff on this last guy. There we go. So we were close to being fully healed. Not quite so much anymore. Luckily, like I said, this is kind of a gimme fight, so it does use up 12 of our MP. Well, hey, can't complain about 3 XP. There's another MP point. Awesome. Keep going up in fire. At least until we get Fireball level 3. Alright. We're gonna go after the giant plant first. The little bat guys will come right after us, so we won't worry too much about them. Just give them a good hit with the old staff. We hit quite a bit harder than they do, you know, when we hit. And it looks like there's our goal. So we're not far now. And I don't mind getting hit by these the enemy wind cutters, because we do wanna level up our defense eventually. And right now we're definitely not in danger of dying, so now's as good a time as any. Alright. Made it to the end. And this is Solvering's Lair, so let's go ahead and get ourselves healed back up. Go. And then I'm gonna do a little circle here. Get all our MP back. And let's get in there. And this is Solvering the King of Beasts. We actually went before him, which is great. So what we're gonna do is just run around the edge and fling off Wind Cutter level 3. And we're easily dodging his ranged attack here, so that's not a problem. I'm thinking if once I get down a little bit lower, I may show off his didn't quite move quick enough there. Got me again. We'll show off his close range attack that you definitely want to avoid. I cannot believe we used it. Let's just get right in his face then. Oh my goodness. That's frustrating. We're just gonna hit him. Hit it this time. That's why you definitely don't want to be in close range combat with him if you can avoid it. Does 15 damage and then it's impossible to dodge. So we got Power Staff. So let's go ahead and loot his little area. As I said, if you use wind against him and you go with quite a bit of MP, he's pretty easy. But if you wanted to use either earth or fire, that fight probably could and would go pretty bad. He's doing 15 or, you know, could be more. You know, he only landed the one shot on us. 15 or more damage every single hit. That's gonna be a quick fight. Oh, I got healed fully when I beat him. You also might saw that I got a pretty sizable HP boost. That's just how bosses work. They just give you a chunk of HP immediately. So, with that handled, we get to run our happy little selves all the way back to the King of Dondarin to tell him the great news that Solvering is currently disposed of. Oop. That was me not quite aiming properly. I didn't have the staff above his head when I hit the confirm button, and as it is, I just basically wasted a turn. So, something to watch out for, but usually one turn isn't a matter between winning and losing, but you never know. Kind of wonder how much fire does against these guys. Yeah, 20. We do quite a bit better with that. What's that? 7 hits, 6 or 7. Well, that one it hit a bunch of times, but the enemy had already taken fatal damage. 7 apiece, so we do almost 50 there. Just with the one spell. So we'll go ahead and stick with Wind Cutter. Good gracious. Immediately into another fight. Just go ahead and give him a Wind Cutter. Think about what he's done. And use our staff to take care of him. Ah, missed. There we go. Line that up a little better. Well, something of note that I keep forgetting to mention is that when you win a battle, Brian's little jump and spin animation he does, he will orient himself the way you were facing before the battle began. So, which is not the case if you lose the battle. If you lose the battle, it's whatever direction you were facing when you fled. So if you're planning on fleeing from some fights, up in the top right hand corner, you'll see in a moment, right there, is a compass. So you want to keep an eye on that, so when you come out of the fight, you aren't completely disoriented. One step. Alright. Go ahead and hit me. Use that to finish you off. And done. Yeah, those enemies that I, goodness, struggled with a bit at the beginning of this area. We're actually not going to fight this one out. These guys do quite a bit of damage. Well, you know what? We're not one to run from a fight. Despite the fact that they're... Ooh, I can reach them. Quite a bit tougher than we are. I just bet I can get 2 of them. There we go. That moves them even closer together. Should take care of both of them. And, oh, come on. Got it. There we go. Yeah. We're not going to run from a fight, even if it drains us of half our HP and most our MP. Experience is experience, so take it whenever, wherever we can get it. That was one of those times I almost wish I'd put everything into water. Water has a spell called Exit or Return. I mean, I think it has both of them, but one of them allows you to escape from combat, and the other will take you to the beginning of any area you're in. So, if I remember right, at this point it would take me back to the entrance to Solvering's lair, rather than the beginning of this place. Gotta save a little bit of MP for a very likely fight we will see in just a moment. Come on, guy. that for 3 damage. Hey, we got a silver amulet. Here we are, back at our little safety hut. We can skip right past this. And head out of the Connor Fortress. Let's just do this. Oh, they all went for him, of course. Let's do that. It only took one more to finish her off. Or him. I'm not sure. Go. And here we go over here. If we want, we can actually, now that we're out in the open, if we don't want to run back, where are they? Where's the white wings? Where's our yellow wings? Oh my goodness, did we completely forget? I did. I completely forgot to get my yellow wings out of Dondrin. Distracted by all the things I wanted to do. So let's go ahead and heal ourselves. Oh, that was a foolish mistake. And I don't mind burning up all my MP here because the enemies out here are the ones we saw at the very beginning of the game. They don't level up with you or anything, so yep. As you see, we have these guys. So this way, if we don't kill everything, we just escape from the fight, because I don't care to take the time to kill everything. So I'm gonna have to find those wings. I thought for sure we got them from that guy. I want to double check. Well, we went in and raided the princess's stuff, but no, we completely skipped the yellow wings. Well, in any case, I believe this is the bread shop. I can never remember. There's 3 different symbols. This is definitely the bread shop. And this lady will give you dewdrops if you're out of those items, the MP recovery items. So the barrel looking thing is that. So, and the house is the inn. So what am I looking for? This camera angle is just the worst. Not doing me any favors. That's not it. Man, how am I so lost in what is essentially the very first town of this game? Oh, here we go. This looks like a jar of some kind. This is where we want to be. There we go, that's what we wanted all along. Sheesh. So, that done. Let's head up to the castle, tell the king the good news. And, actually, we get rewarded for our trouble. So we're going to talk to the king. And he says, hey, you did it. And then lets us get into his secret storeroom back here. Which contains, another spirit and 3 chests. There's a healing potion. replica. And a hero's drink. What those do, 150 HP recovery. Why you'd need it at this point is beyond me. And this lets you escape from a fight. A hero's drink is 40 MP. So, of those, likely the hero's drink is the only one that's going to be worth anything at all. So, now that the way is clear, we're going to head back to the Connor Fortress and actually get through the area and head to the Dondren Flats, which is the area beyond that. I think we can see that on our... Yep. If we go all the way to the south, that's where we want to head. The area we're currently in is called the Holy Plain, which is, I assume, for the monastery that we were a part of before we took off on our grand adventure. Ooh, I was hoping for no encounters. And we're nowhere near the edge of the screen either. That should be plenty. Yeah, it takes a lot of MP to kill even the weakest of enemies. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have to use Wind Cutter 3 on such weak enemies, but hey, might as well get the MP when you can, when it's easy. Here we are back in the fortress. Just keep flinging out Wind Cutters. I don't think that kobold is going to get taken out by it. So, we're going to turn around here. Oh, not a single one hit that guy. That's okay. We use it to our advantage. Finish off this kobold and let the weaker enemy hit us. Finish it off with the staff. I would like to see Fireball level 3. I've never really put much time or effort into the fire tree spells, but it could be... I mean, I've heard they can be pretty good. I know there's one that's called Hot Steam, which is a fun name for a spell. And that will do damage in a large area. Yowza. Yeah, it's really hard. Luckily, we hit him pretty hard back. And if we can duck underneath, we'll get missed entirely by that giant rock. Here we've got another spirit. A little closer. And a homing arrow now. If I remember right, that one works similar to Wind Cutter, only it's considered the fire element, so. See how much. Just pretty good damage. Not if it misses, it doesn't. Let's hit him with the staff. Yeah, that does 30. I think that's going to be our way of getting through this one. Hit these big guys with the staff. Blast this guy with a Wind Cutter face to face. There we go. got our fire up another point. Hopefully the next fire up will get us fireball level 3, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the enemies in this area, the Dondoran Flats, are wind element, or maybe that's later on, but just means that our wind cutter is severely weakened in terms of how much damage it does, and right now it's kind of pretty easily our strongest spell, so we do want to get something else going pretty soon here. And I think after that we'll switch over to Earth, and we'll work on getting that up a little ways. And then we'll get water up to where everything else is. Oof. Yeah. There's so much on the screen right now that the game's ridiculously laggy. So we're going to try to take some guys out and solve that issue. There we go. That'll help. Might end up. We might end up having to use some healing items here. We got another spell. Oh, that was coming out. That's right. Let's see. We almost certainly will have to use some healing items in this fight. That's okay. Let's get that guy out of the picture. Let's go ahead and we need a fresh bread. That's 50 HP, and that'll be more than enough. Yep. And there's that. That lag's been reduced by quite a bit. I bet I can hit all 3 water pillar. Ooh, that still does decent damage. Ugh, that's rude. Moved people out of my multi-target attack there. Oof, and we missed there. That's alright. She's melee, staff attack. And good gracious. It's way too many enemies to fight all at once. Fights like that I really should probably just run from, because it seems silly to waste all that time, but like I said, I don't particularly like running from fights. Now we're in the Dondoran Flats, so we want to head west when we can. Our actual next goal is all the way to the south, but we're gonna duck into Glencoe Forest. Ooh. That's not exciting. You know what? We're actually not gonna duke it out with these guys. The lag alone is enough to make me not want to. So. Alright, so we want to head south, and this is where we want to go. Heal a little bit. And that can be a little tricky to see. There's actually a log there that you run down. So that's how we did that. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. There's a spirit right over here. Still no Fireball 3. Oh well. We'll get it through fights before too long. Let's see. This should make our way over to Glencoe Forest. Oh, baby, that's bad news. These big fellas have a spell called Avalanche, and if you are unlucky enough to get too close, they can very easily kill you. So, that was poor luck, but we got out unscathed. Yeah, we'll duke it out. We can take out one of these guys. Should reduce our lag. Oh, they landed the freeze. So that spell that they're using is actually called Ice Knife, and it is capable, as you can see, of freezing the target. So, for for however long the game decides, I will be frozen. Hopefully not long, because these guys are not being nice enough to line up for water pillars or just regular old melee attacks. So, hey, there's one. Come on. Hey, we got free. Unfortunately, what they'll do is one will land a freeze on you, which is a fairly low chance, and then the rest of them will continue hitting you with the fairly low chance, but because there's 3, 4, 5 of them, you can't avoid it, and they end up freezing you repeatedly. Luckily, we had some points in fire, and that let us use our fireball to knock 1 or 2 of them out, so no permanent damage. I'm gonna go ahead and get healed back up. Oop, we didn't want to actually walk in there just yet. That's the Glencoe Forest, which is an exceptionally high, it's a pretty high level area. We're not actually meant to come here right now, but we're going to, because I believe there's 7 spirit element things that you can get in here, and that's a huge boost to our power early on. So we definitely want to do that. But we don't want to do much fighting because the enemies in here are strong enough that it would take large chunks of our MP for each fight. I mean, we're talking, 25 to 30 MP for every single fight, and then that doesn't leave us any space for healing afterwards, and you very quickly get run down into the ground. So we're not going to do much fighting, a lot of Wind Cutter 3 escaping, healing, but should be pretty fun. Get Fireball level 3, and then we'll get started getting Earth boosted up. So, I hope you'll join me for the next episode. It's been fun. Have a good one.